Here goes a freeze dry. Just don't freeze me, bro. That's all I'm asking for. I'm using bug types. Don't freeze me.
Butterfree, go!
Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. Up to you guys, another episode of our Road to Master bug only series where I climb the online VGC rank ladder with bug Pokemon, and it has been a bit of a challenge, but so far we are sitting at 10 wins and 4 losses. We've got a really cool team. I've got the Volcarona rockin' one more time. If you missed the last episode, you can always find that in the description below. And I really ask you guys for your support on these videos. If you guys enjoy the battle stuff, show some love. Take a second, hit that like button down below, of course. Make sure you guys subscribe. Definitely make sure you guys like the video, and we're going to keep it rocking. So I am streaming, of course, live on Twitch. We got about 600 people here. And I do want to let you guys know, people keep asking, I do encounter stream snipers, so I put these little covers up to block the stream snipers. I know people are like, oh, I don't want to see that aDrive, but that's the reality of it. When you stream in front of a lot of people, there's always the chance that people are trying to stream snipe me, and I just don't want to deal with that. I want to just be able to play and not worry about people trying to steal my moves or cheat against me or whatever, because it has happened. It has happened many times, and it's frustrating. So we're going to try to avoid that with our covers. If I don't feel that the person's sniping me, I'll try not to use the covers. Pretty simple there. But let's get our first battle, and let's throw down for Road to Master bug only. And it is Levi. Let's see what Levi's got for us. Levi's, oh god. My heart, Levi. Why you gotta do this to me, Levi? Okay, so Levi has a very powerful team. This is what we call the power. Okay, so Levi's got a Trick Room team, right? And he's got the Urshifu. He's got the Venusaur, the Torkoal. I mean, I don't even know what I do against this. This is scary stuff. But we're gonna do our best, as we do. Do the best that we can. Hope for the bestest. That's all we can do. That's all you can do is just try very hard. That's it. All right. Oof. That's what I gotta say about this. This is an oof situation for me. All right. So I expect my opponent to do one of two things, right? They either lead like Venusaur, Torkoal, or they lead like Hatterene and Didi, right? Because they can obviously set Trick Room. So Hatterene and Didi feels pretty likely to me. It feels pretty likely to me. Hat and Didi. I can also see the Torkoal Venusaur. Like, obviously, either of those could be very viable Pokemon here in this situation for leads. So, I mean, I have a couple options. Like, we're not in the absolute worst situation in the world here, but this is gonna be tricky for sure. So, I'm gonna have to do the thing. You know what I mean? That's what we're gonna do, the thing. I mean, this is a situation. This is a doozy of a situation here. I'm gonna rock this and see what happens. Yeah, let's do our best. This is tough. I mean, my opponent's got a really tough team here for us. It's a full Trick Room squad with Urshifu and the Sun mode with the Torkoal. So we have our work cut out for us because obviously my opponent has a very powerful Pokemon against every one of my members. That Torkoal, right? So, and we'll have to keep an eye out if the Torkoal has Flamethrower. It is gonna be Torkoal Venusaur lead, so my opponent does go with that lead. Obviously, the Venusaur, big threat to potentially go for Sleep Powder here. Not a whole lot I can do about that. The Venusaur also could have the Weather Ball, which is very unfortunate. I mean, this is just a very, very, very rough situation for me. I'm not even going to lie. Like, there's not really any way to slice it. Like, my opponent has a very big advantage here. I would say the one thing that's going for me, I almost feel like I go for broke here. The one thing that's going for me is the chance that my opponent can miss a Sleep Powder. That's like the one thing that I have in my favor here, but it is not the ideal situation. Like, this is most certainly not the ideal situation. So we're gonna do everything we can, but if my opponent hits a Sleep Powder here, I am in so much trouble. They are gonna Dynamax their Venusaur. I'm assuming it's the Venusaur, not the Torkoal. I will say, if it is the Dynamax Venusaur, that probably helps me more than anything. It is the Venusaur. Okay, it's the G-Max one. All right. Okay, he might have Weather Ball for Scissor. We'll see if it's Weather Ball. I'm just glad he's not sleeping things right now. So let's see. I'm going to max my Araquanid because I can go for Max Geyser and change the weather and get Rain instead. And Venusaur, I mean, it's really not going to do a ton to Araquanid when it's Dynamax. He could try to max Ooze or something, but it's less of a concern in that situation. So let's see here. Araquanid goes big boy. Let's see if he has Weather Ball in his Venusaur, if he goes for something else. Here comes the okay, so it is the Vine Lash. This is going to give him some pretty good residual chip damage here, right, is what this does. So this is going to make it so for a few turns, my opponent is going to kind of get the benefit of that extra damage from the Vines. I'm going to go for the dual wing beat into the Venusaur, do some big damage there. And then I'm actually going to go for the nice and powerful Max Geyser to change the weather and give ourselves a very powerful water move into Torkoal. We actually almost pick up the KO. Was that a crit? Or no, it just did a lot of damage to Torkoal. Okay, now we have Rain Up. If he eruptions, we're actually in a good spot. He goes for the Heat Wave, so good play on my opponent's part. Scissor's able to live though, because it's kind of a boss. And I'm gonna take some Vine Lash and damage here, which adds up. I mean, that does a lot of damage when it adds up. If you can't tell, like it does quite a bit. So, okay, let's see here. Obviously, Scissor is pretty weakened at this point. The Torkoal's weakened as well. So, I mean, we kind of have to figure out what we want to do there. The Venusaur, I don't know if I can knock out the Venusaur in like one hit. And I think this is kind of tricky. Do I think my opponent attacks the Scissor with the Venusaur? I don't think I'm knocking out that Venusaur no matter what here. So it's just a matter of what would I rather attack. I'm going to do this. And then I think I'm going to go and do this. I think that's probably my best bet. So my opponent goes for the max guard on the Venusaur. So that's actually a pretty good play. Gets some extra stall damage there. The Torkoal goes for protect. So good plays on my opponent's part. I went for the bullet punch and a Scissor, trying to pick up the KO. That wasn't my best play in hindsight, but it's okay. I go for the max Flutterby here to try to get a special attack drop. Doesn't really matter. He gets the kind of whip around there with the Vine Lash, and then I'll take some more Vine Lash damage on the Araquanid. So, all right. I mean, obviously, I think my opponent just expects me to do the same thing, is what I would guess. I would think that that's what kind of they would expect me to do here. I don't know if they would save the Torkoal as a result of that. I mean, I have a tough choice. Like, I can predict them to, like, Scissor's going down no matter what here. So, it's just a matter of what do I think they're going to do. I mean, I don't know. Like, my play, obviously, I just showed my play, right? Because I just did it. So, it's like, am I going to do the same play? Or am I going to mix it up? I mean, I think my opponent could obviously save their Torkoal here. They're going to switch out their Venusaur. So, maybe trying to set up the weather again later. And in comes Indeedee. Okay. Gonna set up the... Oh, I see the play there. Okay, good play on my opponent's part. My opponent sets up the terrain, so I'm unable to go for the bullet punch here. Okay, I mean, it's an interesting play because it gives my opponent the... I can't... Oh, they're gonna switch out the Torkoal as well. They want to reset the rain. Or the sun, rather. I understand that play. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I can't bullet punch because of the terrain, but I do get to go for the Flutterby here, which is going to hit the Indeedee. I'm not quite convinced it's going to KO, though. It does KO, okay. This is an interesting situation, though. Good play on my opponent's part, though. I'm going to give him props for that. That was a pretty good play. Pretty good play. And Scissor goes down here, which honestly isn't the worst thing in the world. Honestly, not the worst thing in the world. So... I gotta figure out, how do I beat this Urshifu, which is obviously faster than me, and then what is my best way to win at the end here? So, I've got a tough decision to make because that Venusaur is problematic. The Torkoal's gonna come out, it's gonna change the weather. Alright, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna go Butterfree. We're gonna go Butterfree. There comes the Torkoal. The Torkoal's gonna change the weather. I actually rather see the Torkoal first, to be honest. I actually rather see the Torkoal first. So, that's fine. The drop gets set up. Alright. And I lose my max. So my opponent does win the weather war here. Okay. This is a pretty important turn here. I'm predicting the protect on the Torkoal for this turn. Yes. Okay. So that was an instance of me having to make a tough prediction. My opponent's a Choice Scarf Urshifu. No! Bro. Anything else and we're fine, but he's Choice Scarf Urshifu, bro. Man. Anything else and we are just fine. I'm Choice Scarf Butterfree, so I would've, my play was I slept the Urshifu and I liquidation the Urshifu, but he's Choice Scarf Urshifu, and nothing I could do in that situation. We're not out of it yet. He could miss a Rock Slide here, but that's very unfortunate because if he was not Scarf, we're in a great spot. He's gonna hit it. I'm still gonna live because I have a Sash. If he flinches me, then we lose. But it doesn't matter either way because Venusaur is gonna be faster in Sun. I flinch anyway, and that's a rough loss, dude. Choice Scarf Urshifu. Props to my opponent though. My opponent played very well, managing their Torkoal there. Unfortunately, we were really close to knocking it out, and we just weren't able to. So GG's, Levi. You obviously played very well there. If he's not Choice Scarf Urshifu, I think we actually have that game. But, I mean, what are you going to do? He brought Choice Scarf Urshifu. So he saved it for the back. And when you have an all-bug team and you're facing off against a Torkoal and all that stuff, it's just, you know, you can only do so much against that. So GG's to my opponent there. And, you know, good game. Let's grab another one. Okay. Dude, it's like 2 fire types on every team. Okay. Talonflame. Incineroar, obviously very problematic for us. Especially since it has priority. The Lapras, obviously, the Amoonguss, I mean, everything is a threat. Everything is a threat. So, and the fact that there's the fake out pressure, big threat there. Dude, this is tough. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, let's try that. Yeah, it's tough. So my opponent can do a lot of things. They can do Comfrey Lapras, but almost certainly they're probably gonna do like Talonflame and Incineroar, I would think. I mean, they have such a type advantage there right out the gates. So let's see here. Comfrey Lapras, okay. So, not the end of the world. That's actually probably the situation that I'm like most comfortable against, to be honest. So, let's see what we can do here. Let's do that, and let's do that. Okay, so this strategy here a lot of times utilizes Lapras to, you know, the Comfey can activate weakness policy on the Lapras because of its priority. So Lapras is going to max here. It's going to try to go for G-Max Resonance to set up that double screen strategy, which is, you know, obviously pretty viable. Lapras being able to set up an Aurora Veil by going for G-Max Resonance is very, very strong. And Comfey can go for a Grass type move into it that heals, like Giga Drain, with priority because of triage. And we're gonna see exactly that, right? The Comfey goes for the Giga Drain into the Lapras to activate its weakness policy. Lapras gets double special attack and double attack. And luckily for us though, I have gone for Sleep Powder. So I'm just gonna put this Lapras to sleep and say, hey, you know what, Lapras, you can just take a nap. I don't wanna deal with you right now. And I'm gonna go for Quiver Dance here with Volcarona and start boosting up on him because, you know, we're in a relatively powerful situation right now as a result of that. And Volcarona is really strong. This Lapras is asleep now, which is super good for us. And we could just kind of continue to do what we're doing here. I've got to decide what I think is the best move here. But I think I'm going to just do this. So, Lapras stays sleeping for another turn, which tells me he went for Max Guard. The Comfey is going to just go for a regular healing move. Probably, I don't know what it's going to do, but we're going to just put it to sleep too. So, take a nap, buddy. We're just putting everything to sleep right now with our Butterfree, which is super duper epic. And, you know, we're putting ourselves in a good spot here because of these sleep turns and because of that. So, now I've got to decide what I want to do here. You know, obviously I could switch out with Butterfree, which might not be a terrible idea just because everything's asleep as it stands now. And then, like, the question is, like, do I care about that Comfey? Is that an issue? Because I could Heat Wave again, knock out the Comfey. Obviously, the Lapras could live, and then I could take damage. Let's do this. Okay, so Butterfree's gonna swap out. I'm gonna go into Araquanid. Simply because, like, Butterfree can't do anything right now because everything's sleeping anyway. And my opponent's going to switch out Comfey and probably go Incineroar. Talonflame, that's fine too. Here comes Talonflame. And it's a beautiful shiny Talonflame. And I actually went for the max here. And the reason I went for the max is because I wanted to get the KO on the Lapras. So I'm going to go for the max Flutterby here to try to pick up this KO. I think it will KO just based on the damage of Heat Wave from the previous turn. We did like a solid 40%, so I'm hoping that this Bug Buzz is going to do enough. Yo, Giant Moth looks amazing, by the way. This Flutterby, I think, does enough here. Let's find out. Dude, I totally overestimated the power of that. I really need an extra turn of sleep then. Otherwise, we are in a lot of trouble here. He's going to wake up, isn't he? Dude. And here comes the Max Geyser into Volcarona. That's terrible. Yeah, that's really bad for us, dude. That's actually really bad for us. That's really bad. I don't know. I think I just straight up... Maybe I crit it the first time and didn't realize it. I certainly overestimated the damage there. My best play was 1,000,000% the Heat Wave play. Okay. I mean, that's unfortunate, but it kind of is what it is. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do... Yeah, we'll do this. That's unfortunate. Talonflame does get priority Brave Bird. Here it comes. It does just straight up knock out Volcarona. Nothing I can do there. Nothing I can do there. The good news is I can, if it's not Sash, Talonflame, I can get the KO here. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's taking recoil anyway. Here goes a Freeze Dry. Just don't freeze me, bro. That's all I'm asking for. I'm using bug types. Don't freeze me. I mean, really? Like, really? I went for Liquidation and a Talonflame to pick up the KO there. Obviously, not in my favor as, you know, my opponent there able to get a very clutch freeze there. Araquanid Thaws. Okay, well, that's good news at least. Araquanid Thaws here. We can sleep this Talonflame and, you know, have it take a nap for us. Let's see if the Freeze Dry is aimed into the Araquanid slot here, which was what we would assume. Thunder into Butterfree. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Okay. And my last, okay, I mean, we're not out of it yet. We're not out of it yet. It's not looking good, but we're not out of it yet. I need to hit a Rock Slide on both targets. Yeah. I mean, we just need to, I need the Talonflame to not wake up. I need to hit a Rock Slide, I think is really what it comes down to here. Not much I can do otherwise, so yeah, I think that's my play. Talonflame sleeping. All right, don't miss the Rock Slide, or at least hit the Lapras. I hit the wrong target, bro. All I needed to do was hit the Lapras, and I missed. I mean, it's just, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man? Maybe he'll miss Hydro Pump. Nah, he freeze dries. He makes the right play. All right, it's not over yet. It's not over yet still. I can hit a Rock Slide into Comfey plus Lapras and still win. Or just get rid of the Lapras, really. I think Rock Slide is probably the best play still. Oh, he's got Incineroar, dude. Yeah, he's got Incineroar. So he could just fake out. Yeah, I forgot we could. Yeah, it wasn't gonna matter. I mean, I don't think it's gonna matter either way. Because he's gonna just fake out and then Hydro Pump. So, that, I mean, that really came down to, like, I was in such a bad spot with the, maybe he misses Hydro Pump or something, chokes it. Nah, of course not. Of course not. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's okay, dude. It is what it is, man. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. But that's, you know, that's competitive Pokemon there. You know, you try to put yourself in a position to win. Obviously, we're kind of got our back against the wall. using bug-type Pokemon in the first place, but, you know, what are you going to do? We just dust that one off, forget it happened, and just move on. There's not much we can do in that situation. It's obviously very frustrating, you know, but that's competitive Pokemon sometimes, and, you know, it's important to realize that there is an element of luck to Pokemon, and in that case, you know, we had our kind of things were stacked against us in the first place, so. Okay, so here's an interesting team. We got a couple starters. We got the Rotom, and obviously Marowak, so, you know, we have to try to figure out around how do I play around that Cinderace, because that thing's a massive problem for us, is Cinderace. And then, you know, yeah, how am I basically dealing with Cinderace right now? Because, you know, I feel like we can deal with everything else pretty much, but Cinderace is very problematic. I mean, Rillaboom is problematic too, but obviously we got to deal with that Cinderace. So, let's do this, and let's do this, and let's do, this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty standard team right now. The Marowak is probably like anti-Trick Room. I could see my opponent leading like Hitmontop Cinderace or like Rillaboom Cinderace. Obviously very strong, being able to go for like fake outs and things of that nature, which can be very challenging to kind of deal with. So we'll have to see what they are working with. Fake out is really going to be problematic though, I'm not going to lie. Fake out is going to be very problematic here. But obviously trying to utilize the bug types to the best of our ability, you're going to run into kind of stuff like this. So let's see what they're going to do. We got Cinderace, Rillaboom, so almost certainly the Rillaboom is going to go for a fake out into one of my targets here. I tried to lead both to dissuade one of them, right? Like maybe I could dissuade one of them from doing something. I'm not really sure. There was no better lead here that I could even really think of. I'm kind of in a situation where my opponent is just in a really strong spot. I can at least see the Life Orb and Assault Vest, so we know that it's a Assault Vest Rillaboom. Okay, let's do this, and then let's do this. Yeah. I mean, I could see, I mean, the thing is, like, what does the Cinderace go for? Is he gonna go for, like, max Airstream? Is the Cinderace gonna go for just, like, a max Flare and just blow back my Orbeetle? Which is very possible here. I see, like, if I'm my opponent, I simply go fake out Rillaboom into Butterfree, and then you just, like, max Airstream Orbeetle, and I'm just gonna get blown by it. So, or max Flare into Orbeetle. Either one of those plays is really strong here, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it, so let's see what they do. I hope they max Airstream. Here goes the fake out. They do indeed target the Butterfree slot. And is it max Airstream? It is max Airstream. That's good news for us. That is probably the best case scenario. I have a Cobra Berry for the max Airstream specifically, which is very good news. Alright. Orbeetle lives and gets up Trick Room. Okay. That's good. That's good. Very good. Alright. What else we got here? I get Trick Room up. Okay. That's good. Okay, so Orbeetle's the slowest thing. Okay. So Cobra Berry, Orbeetle helping us out there, being able to live that. If my opponent had gone for Max Flare, obviously I would not be in that situation. Now, I don't know how this is going to work out. If the Rillaboom's max speed, it's going to be faster than my Butterfree. We're unlucky here. He's going to Grassy Glide. Okay, he goes Araquanid. And I get the Sleep Powder off in the ace. Okay, that could have been worse. That could have been worse. That could have been worse. Okay. Could be worse. Alright. Let's see here. Alright, so I'm going to swap Butterfree out. I'm obviously locked in a Scarf, and you can't Sleep Powder a Grass type, because Powder moves don't work on Grass type. So I'm just going to go Orbeetle here, just to provide more, like, defensive support. And for me, I know I got to get rid of the Cinderace, because I can't risk him waking back up. So we're just going to go Big Boy, and we're going to go right after that Cinderace here. Obviously, the Rillaboom has that priority grassy slide, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. But if I can, at the very least, like try to get rid of the Cinderace and start picking off the things next to the Rillaboom, then we can maybe deal with the Rillaboom a little bit later in the match, especially if its terrain goes away. So I know I can take a grassy glide if he goes for it. He does indeed go for it. It's gonna go into the Araquanid. Big damage there. It's gonna be closer to KO, but I can get the Geyser off now and get rid of the Cinderace. Assuming it's not Sash because we saw Life Orb. So that'll definitely pick up the KO. And now I'm in a situation where I do get the Rain Boost, which is good. And then, you know, we obviously have Trick Room pressure right now. So we know the Rillaboom can't attack. That's good to note. The thing is, though, I don't trust that Araquanid is going to be strong enough to, you know, max Flutterby, knock out the Rillaboom. So just got to be mindful there of how that goes. But let's see what they have in the back. I do out-slow Marowak, so if it's Marowak, that's okay. You know, we'll have to see what they have in the back, though. I know there was Marowak, there was Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash would be really annoying. It's Hitmon Top, okay. It's Hitmon Top. It's gonna Intimidate. Kind of annoying, obviously. We know the Hitmon Top is not Assault Vest as well, something to note. It is not Assault Vest Hitmon Top. So, just something to note there. Alright, we kind of just need, you know, this is a situation where they could easily fake out my Orbeetle. They are going to do that. So, the question is, does my Araquanid live this Grassy Glide? If I live it, we're okay here. Oh, he doesn't even go for the Grassy Glide. He might have Wood Hammered then. He very well might have Wood Hammered. Alright, we blow back Hitmon Top. Maybe, he must have Wood Hammered, I think. The crit doesn't matter there, I don't think. He went for knockoff, actually? Which we live, okay. We lose my Wave Incense, but that's fine. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Okay. I think the Grassy Glide would have been really close to knock me out, but... And the last mon is Toxtricity. Okay, could be worse as well. Okay, let's see what happens here. The Grassy Glide, really scary here, because obviously you could get the pickup on the Araquanid. And the Toxtricity in general is just scary. But we're trying to get rid of this terrain. I'm going to go Ally Switch and hope that he Grassy Glided into Araquanid here and I can burn that turn. Let's see. Here comes the Grassy Glide. Into the Orbeetle. Oh, Ally Switch, the worst move in the game, coming in clutch. Max Geyser goes to the Toxtricity, baby. Woo! Okay, Tox gone. I don't feel bad using Ally Switch when I'm using a bug team. I just want to make that clear. Scummiest move in the game, though. Don't use Ally Switch. Alright? Scummiest move in the game. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet, but it's definitely looking promising here. I think my opponent just strictly has the boom left. The Rillaboom skis. And let's see here. What do we got on the field? I have Rain left. And there's no more terrain. So Grassy Glide, no longer priority. I do not have Trick Room anymore. Something worth noting there. So, I'm gonna do one of these guys. And, I guess I just Trick Room again. I'm either gonna get a Lunge off or I'm gonna get a Trick Room off. So, he goes for the knockoff. Probably an Orbeetle, I think. Yep. Oh, Orbeetle living on 4, bro. Because we consumed our Koba Berry earlier. How about that? Yo, Orbeetle putting in the work, dude. And that's going to be a GG to my opponent. So, my opponent had obviously a very strong team there. A little bit more standard. We got a little bit lucky. I think, you know, my opponent could have done a couple things differently. But ultimately, we played well to win this one. My opponent doesn't have Grassy Glide anymore. I just let the Rillaboom sit there, man, right? Because, like, I knew I needed to utilize those Dynamax turns to the best of my ability to try to weaken the things on the right-hand side there. But this episode is not going to be a total wash. You know, game 1, we kind of played pretty well. Got blown back by a Rock Slide Choice Scarf Urshifu. What are you going to do? Game 2, we probably could have won. I don't know. It would have been tricky. Obviously, the Incineroar was still in the back, but I got frozen. So, I mean, what are you going to do there? It took me way too many turns to try to get rid of Talonflame. Didn't even stand a chance. And then game 3, we were able to pull back despite a very difficult situation with my opponent having that, that Cinderace Rillaboom lead, which is one of the most meta things. I mean, to be able to beat that, I think is pretty solid in itself. These are not easy games under any situation, especially not using a bug team. where that's your best bet, right? Trying to utilize bug Pokemon. So if you guys are continuing to enjoy the bug only Road to Master, be sure to hit that like button down below. I really appreciate your support. And make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode of our Road to Master bug only. Peace. If you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love this video, so feel free to check that out. YouTube, however, thinks that you're going to dig this one. So pick one of the other videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.